Finally, in the college division, we bring out Sabina Paudel, and she's going to give her presentation on her idea and her vision. She calls it Global Adventurers.
Evening, everyone. A girl dreams. Okay. A girl full of dreams of traveling the world. But she has seen it all. 10 minutes down her house is a refugee shelter. A pile of visa resignation letters sits on a desk because the embassies fear that because the embassies fear that she might just be another number in the illegal immigrant statistics. Her country is rich in water resources, yet half her country lives in darkness. So she sits there all by herself, dreaming of places she could never go to. A tiny dot between two massive countries. Probably half of you even know about it. I am that girl, and this is what Global Adventurers is all about. It is a nonprofit organization that aims to unite people with a sense of adventure and the willingness to make a difference. Our focus will be on addressing these social issues and bringing about a social change. But in addition to that, we'll be giving back to the participants a life-changing experience. We want anybody who is interested to join us in international fundraising adventures, and adventures that are catered to one particular cause, and also at the same time immerse themselves in cultural environments through homestay programs and such, so that they could themselves be a better person. So our participants, they will be assigned a minimum amount to fundraise through sources like our own websites and social media sites like Facebook and Twitter. We collect donations through sites like Fundly and Kickstarter, and with these funds, we work with the UN and UNDP, which is United Nations Development Program, and other similar organizations, so that we could use these donations to implement programs that empower the needy, and instead of just handing out the cash and donations. So for instance, we'll be providing vocational education to the single mothers living in abject poverty, and with the rest of the remaining funds, we build a school so that their children could have some education. I've watched commercialized charities target lower middle income people. I've watched as people open businesses that cater only to this middle income and the rich people. But the rest of the world that lives in less than $2 a day, nobody even cares. I mean, if we are living a comfortable life and not be bothered with such issues, why even care, right? So, our lives, Martin Luther King Jr. said that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And these are the things that matter. These are the things that we need to bring a change. We need to revolutionize and end these social and global issues. There we go. So we need to address these issues and bring about social change. We need to understand that we all are global citizens. And for that, we need funds so that we could start our initial marketing campaigns. We need funds so that those countless other children who dream of adventures every single day, knowing that they will never be able to make it happen. So let's start making the world a better place to live in. And not just for ourselves, but for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabina. And now to the judges.
Sabina, nicely done. How would your company or your website, would you mainly just collect the funds and then you make the decision about which sources they would go to, or would you just be the vessel for others to come up with their causes, bring the money in, and then make a determination of where it goes?
Will already be part, like, each event will be catered to one particular cause. So in order to do that, we will be partnering up with local and international organizations before actually making the event happen. So with the money that we get, we kind of like work with them so that money could be used to, like, say, vocational educations, but like just not distributing them with cash. Because where I come from, I've seen people who got donations, but they used it for themselves instead of sending their children to school because they needed the money, but they did not think it for the long term. They just thought it for the short term.
Okay. So this would be a not-for-profit?
Yes, sir.
Sabina, if you had to say real quickly
Okay.
to the audience, what is your wow statement?
Well, my wow statement is that, like, I have experienced this. I've seen it firsthand. I've been like 5 minutes down the road from my house. It's a refugee shelter. I've seen people who, like, for at least even myself back in Nepal, I will have load shed. Like, even we have like the richest water resources, we have load shedding of like 12 to 16 hours. So we are basically living in darkness. So it's just not the poor people, it's me and my family as well that live in such conditions.
Wow.
It worked.
I'd like to get a sense of how, if you associate with a nonprofit like Greenpeace or Amnesty International.
Yes,
or
ma'am.
that sort of thing, will they pay you for bringing the volunteers to them, or how do you pay for your expenses in organizing these adventures and good work?
If we could, okay, I had actually prepared a cash flow kind of statement, which I knew you would be asking about. So for us, it's about like Amnesty International and Greenpeace. They do not pay for us. They do their own, they organize these events by themselves, and they do it in a very large scale. We're just we'll be a new company doing like in local and international scale, but it's going to be a really small scale. But we'll be paying our expenses through application fees when participants sign up for the program, and when they are really sure of the program, they will provide us with the entrance fees. So say we do motorcycling across Peru. For the motorcycles, they could pay, say, around $275. And the actual cost could be around, because it would be in a bulk group, the cost could go down to $150. So with that money and the grants and the funds from the government itself, as well as the application fee and other donations from people themselves who can see that we actually are contributing to the society, we are actually making a difference. When they give us donations, that way we function. Like, being a not-for-profit does not really mean that we don't have any money to run our organization.
Well, you're a very entrepreneurial young lady.
Any other questions?
What sort of competition do you have from other organizations, say, for instance, church groups or college organizations that help students be organized for non-for-profit service work? What makes your plan unique and different from those sorts of organizations?
Our plan is unique in the sense that we actually bring the participants to various international events and make them, like, say for the accommodation, we could do homestays, so that they could get a cultural experience that the Amnesty International and the other organizations cannot provide. So that brings out and matures a person, that makes that person a better individual. He can see things from a different perspective and be a global citizen. So like that way, it really sets us apart from these other charities and organizations. Any other questions?